All right, guys, Colonel Mustard Cooks episode 5, and I'm going to show you guys how to make this. It's a relish, all right, and I've made it before, and it turns out great, and it can go on a lot of different stuff. So it's really simple. I use this little choppy guy. Gives me nice uniform pieces of like pepper and onion. So I'm gonna go with these are Serrano peppers. And I use the little fine chopping blade on here. But this has already been de-seeded and deveined and washed, so it is ready to go. Usually when I'm dealing with peppers, I just usually wear rubber gloves. Alright, and then take this back apart. And so you need about a half a cup. You want just actually a little bit less than a half a cup of finely chopped Serrano peppers. So instead of having it kind of mounted over the top, just kind of scoot a little bit out. So it's just a touch less than a half a cup. All right, there's that. Toss this. All right, and then onion. I'm using white onion. You can also use red onion on this too. And just take little pieces. All right, let's see how close we get with that. That should be a little less than a half a cup also. Oh, a little extra. All right, so just about the same, a little less than a half cup finely chopped onion. And then I go to the scale, and we're gonna do 3 ounces of Big Bill on the Hills hot mustard. And then 2 ounces of pineapple jelly. Now, I use this local stuff. It's Jackie's Jams. And theirs is actually a passion fruit, pineapple, and guava jam. And it's really good. But just any like pineapple sort of jam will work. But I like this one a whole lot. So, back up here. Zero that bad boy out. And about 3 ounces. Boom, right on the dot. All right, and 2 ounces of our jam, excuse me. We add that one to the blooper reel. All right, zero that bad boy out. All right. So 2 ounces of the Jackie's Jams. Ooh, a little over. Well, that's all right. But so you take this, give it a nice stir. You don't need anything else. If you wanted to, you could add a touch of salt, but I don't find salt necessary in this. So nice and mixed up. And you know, if you don't want it as hot, you can substitute like a some green bell pepper for some of the Serrano pepper, or you can just add a little bit less of the onion, or you know, there's some substitutions there. Anyhow, when I'm done, I've got a little 8-ounce mason jar, a little half pint, and the canning funnel. Perfect. And then we've got a bunch of these we bought. They're the little reusable, leak-proof lids for, like, you know, regular and wide mouth. And then screw that bad boy on, and then let it go in the refrigerator at least overnight. I find that it really, you know, kind of like brings the flavors together. And so I have one that I did last night. It's all ready to go. And next, we're going to cook a pork loin. Pull this on top, all right? So stay tuned. All right, so I've got my pork loin in a casserole dish covered in aluminum foil. That's one of my go-to ways to cook big hunks of meat. It just tends to work out really well. So I've got the meat thermometer in the center, and I've got it set to 145. It's coated in a nice layer of Big Bill in the Hills hot mustard. Ooh. And we're actually going to, on this one, we're going to use the Treager Cherry Rub. Sweet and fruity. Yeah. So that's going to kind of go along with our relish that we're going to serve it with afterwards. You know, it's got a little sweet, a little heat, a little fruit. So a nice little... nice thick layer like that. We've got our oven already preheated to 500, so let's pop it in. And when this bad boy beeps, we'll be at 145 degrees, and we can let it rest for like 5 minutes. Usually don't need that long with pork. Usually like 10 minutes rest with beef, 3 to 5 minutes with pork. I like to let mine rest a little bit more. But anyhow, we'll let you know when we pull it out. We'll slice it up, and we'll serve it with our relish. All right, so 500 degree oven until it got an internal temp of 145. And then I let it rest for like 5 minutes. And so now, good for some slicing. Just about perfect. So we'll take a couple slices off of this. Plate this stuff up. Just like that. And we're going to top with a little bit of our relish that we made earlier. Mercy, that's good. So, yeah, so there you go. That's the way I like to cook my pork loin. That stuff was cheap. This whole deal was like $21 at the grocery store. So, and coated in Big Bill on the Hills hot mustard, cherry rub on top, and the good thing about this relish is that you can use it in a lot of different ways. The ways I specifically have used it and like it, like a turkey and Swiss sandwich, just a little bit on there. It gives it a nice, you get a little bit of onion in there, you got a little bit of spice, you got your mustard already in there. The chicken salad sandwich, great. Put some in, like mix it into your meatloaf. Put a couple of big spoonfuls in with your meatloaf. Mix it around. That's great. I've even put it on top of pizza. One of my favorites. But yeah, there's a lot of great ways to use that relish. And like I said, you can mix it up a little bit too. If you don't want to use like a pineapple jelly, which I like a pineapple jelly. I feel like it has a lot going for it, flavor wise, but like it mixed with the mustard goes good on a lot of ham products and stuff like that. If you want to do some pulled pork or something, those are always, that's always a good way to do it. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, so I had it with some eggs this morning. Freaking phenomenal. So yeah. But it was good, but it's kind of a multi-purpose relish. And like I said, if you don't like the Serranos, which I love Serranos, I feel like it has a completely different flavor profile from jalapenos. So that's the reason why I like to use them. But we have there's a great store not far from here called Specialty Produce. Shout out to the girls at Specialty Produce that I saw the other day. And so they have really great Serranos there. They have these huge, it's like a commercial place. And I got some Serranos there, and that's where I picked up my Jackie's jams, the pineapple and passion fruit and guava. And man, that stuff's just phenomenal. But like I said, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it too. You could substitute a little bit of like green bell pepper in there. You could, put a little less onion if you don't want onion. Toss a little garlic in there. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. But if you guys have any questions about anything we used today, put it in the comments, and like and subscribe also. And please follow us on Instagram, at Big Bill on the Hills. That's it for now. Stay tuned for episode 6.